The world of the Banner Saga is just like our real world in many ways. It's a place where humans often prove their own worst enemy, waging war for territory and power while other environmental concerns loom large. On the other hand, it's also a place where people with horse legs join horned giants in battle against demigods corrupted by darkness. So, bit of a departure from reality. The Banner Saga's lore is flavoured by Norse mythology, peppered by touches of Tolkien-esque fantasy, and features a lot of original ideas from developers Stoic, so each of its races bears closer examination if you're interested in getting deeper into its universe. From our beloved Varl, who've helped us through countless tricky tussles, to the enigmatic Dredge, who got us into them in the first place, let's look deeper into the Banner Saga's races. If you've watched our previous Banner Saga videos, you'll know that we have something of a soft spot for the Varl here at Versus Evil YouTube. Their enormous stature gives them a natural advantage on the battlefield. They're perfectly designed mechanical tools for swinging an axe really, really hard, and you've got to respect that. Varl are actually a winning crossbreed of human and beast, created by an impatient god, as the legend goes, with a twisted vision of the Loom Mother's designs for humanity. That'll explain their massive horns and enormous stature then. Because the Varl were supposedly forged using fire, they also have a primeval fear of it to this day. As for which animal was used to create them, the most likely is the Yox, a giant pack animal with similar horns to the Varl. That towering stature means Varls occupy a 2x2 grid on the battlefield, and come in warrior, shield banger and berserker classes. It's not all about spilling blood for them though. In times of peace, Varl live a relatively tranquil existence in small farming communities. Big sweethearts really, aren't they? Hailing from the land of Dalalond to the south and east of the territories occupied by Varl and humans, the Horseborn are the stuff of legend. And we don't mean that figuratively the way people say Kobe Bryant's career was the stuff of legend. We mean people literally don't believe the Horseborn exist. It's understandable when you look at them. These are the ancestors of centaurs who interbred with horses, and although their tribal society and its tensions are very much reminiscent of humanity, well, those hooves and extra limbs aren't. Agile and powerful on the battlefield, Horseborn have to deal not only with infighting among their own tribes, but the pointing and staring of Arborang citizens who've never seen such things before. The creation of Horseborn owes a lot to the country of Wales, oddly enough. They're technically a mixture of human and Welsh pony, and their class names Cantref and Teolu are Welsh too. On to boring old humans now. While there might not be much to talk about anatomically, particularly in some humans' cases, Rugger, there's always a bit of cultural and political intrigue to talk about with this lot, isn't there? As the old story goes, humans were created by the Loom Mother, a benevolent god whose other hits include the tapestry of creation itself. Whereas the god responsible for Varl was impatient, Loom Mother took her time with humankind. That's how the story goes anyway. Human territory takes up the land in the south of the Banner Saga's world, and the language, clothing and culture owes a lot to the Vikings of Scandinavia back in the real world from the late 700s to the mid-10th century. Humans live in both small settlements and larger towns like Arborang, and they're very versatile on the battlefield, bringing archers and mages alongside swordsmen. They maintain generally good relations with other races, although a bit of mistrust creeps in every now and again, and it would with so much skullduggery going on during the events of the Banner Saga 3. Okay, steady yourself because we're on to the Dredge for this final entry. Initially, the Dredge were the big bad in the Banner Saga, invading from their native Valkyrjökull in the north down to the southern lands where humans and Varl lived peacefully. Dredge and Varl in particular are sworn enemies going back to, well, as far back as any Banner Saga's history books go. The political situation was clear then: Dredge bad, everyone else good. But by the time the Banner Saga 3 begins, a greater enemy threatens all life in the lands. With darkness enshrouding the world and turning things into warped, a bit of pragmatism is required from the surviving races. That means Dredge, humans, Horseborn and Varl are all fighting together against a common enemy. How did such an odd race come into being? Well, a blog post on the Banner Saga 3's Kickstarter page reveals all, and it's another appearance for the Loom Mother. We quote, "Deep in the shadows of the age of myth, the Loom Mother discovered how to weave life into her tapestry, the fabric of the universe. She created the beasts of the land and the sea, and wove the elements of reason into her creations of humans. All of these threads, some short, some long, had a beginning and an end. Other gods attempted to mimic her, but lacked the skill or patience necessary to master the art. Some gods twisted beasts into new shapes and monsters. Others wove her creations together, making crossbreeds of human and animal. And so were created the Varl and the Horseborn. One spiteful god took the humans and twisted them wretchedly, hid them away in the depths of the earth, and they became the Dredge. Not the most flattering origin story, but we've grown quite fond of Apostate and Co over the course of many battles. We'll always be Varl at heart here, but tell us who you identify most closely with in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to the channel for more on the Banner Saga. We'll catch you next time.